and welcome viewers to our special edition of the Evening Review. It's Valentine's Day, and we hope you're all having a lot of fun out there and that love is being celebrated. If you haven't already grabbed a copy of today's edition of Namibian Sun, please do so. I'm Ashley Smith, the news editor of Namibian Sun. And we are highly favored today to have with us a much-loved relationship expert and gender activist, Uncle G. Welcome. How are you?
I was fine until you cornered me to be here. But I'm glad to be here. A new experience.
And we're privileged to have you here today on this day of love and the month of love. And the second guest I have on the couch with me this evening is my zone's Esther Kamati.
Thank you, Ashley, for having me.
Before we jump in with Uncle G and Esther, please stay tuned for our chill section today, which is also going to be part of this program. And we have some very spicy interviews with celebrities, as well as rapper Skrypt, who's going to be sharing what they are getting up to this evening on Valentine's Day. Uncle G, let's jump right into it. Valentine's Day, day of love, candlelit dinners, roses, chocolates. But you know, the sad reality is that today even there'll be victims of abuse, rape, gender-based violence. So my first question to you is, how do we actually use Valentine's Day and the hype around Valentine's Day to change kind of attitudes in Namibia's relationships?
Actually, we don't. Professionally, people can do what they want. Personally, I don't care for Valentine's Day. My wife knows it. She even try and twist my arms at times. But she knows that I don't care for it simply because of what you're mentioning. The hype, the commercialized, manipulated energies that we put out there. People go to the cash loans just to buy flowers and chocolate and whatever. And then the person you are buying all these things for, tomorrow that person is gone to somebody else. What's up with that? Yeah. And where was it yesterday?
Yes.
So the hype, if we could maintain the hype, if that energy was positive enough for it to remain into the whole year, the whole of lifetime, could be something different. But the problem is, yes, it's more, the attention is more about what we buy and what we pretend to be on this day.
Uncle G, just on that point, if you can just elaborate further. This morning after our conversation, I found you quite early. You agreed. I was very happy to be with us today. But in terms of the quote you sent me this morning, can I just read the quote that you sent me? Just the end of the quote. You sent me, love is what you do every day to be and remain relevant to yourself and your partner.
Yes, love is shown. Love is not told. So there's a lot of us telling others and being told by others that I love you, I love you. Wait a minute, where is the proof to that? Because love is to be shown. When we say shown, it means your character, your attitude, your mannerism, your behavior, your activities, all should amplify, affirm the words, I love you. So you can't say I love you and then beat me up. You can't say I love you and then cheat on me. You can't say I love you and then neglect me. You can't say I love you and then block me on social media. We can go on with that list. But those contradictions are what I'm talking about. Where are you living it out? Yeah. And if we are not living it out, then it remains just empty words. And it shows up because the high rate of divorce, the high rate of violence, the rape, all these things we have around us is saying loud and clear that we say love, we don't do love.
I'm actually glad you brought up those examples because it happens quite a lot where people are cornered by this illusion of love and stay in situations that are unhealthy for them without even realizing it. So I'd like you to please tell us, how would you define a toxic relationship and how does somebody know that they're in a toxic relationship?
Unfortunately, all over the world, I'm still to find a nation, a community, a society where people are actually groomed into knowing these things. See, do you drive?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But if you should be driving, we'll make sure that you go to a driving school. You will get something that's called a learner's driver's license. You will be given time to practice driving before you can get an actual license to drive an actual car. Where is that when it comes to you interacting with people at this platform called loving and relationship and romance? Where are we grooming and guiding, getting the grooming and guidance so that we know what we are doing? Because now you have hormones and they kick in when you are like a teenager, you know, and the blood is boiling and so on. And now you feel you're crushing on everybody. You're making on everybody. But love is a decision, it's not feelings. So because if it was feelings, you would have 10 boyfriends and I would have 10,000 girlfriends. It's not. It's a decision, and that's why we end up with just deciding, choosing one person. So that is missing. So because the hormones and energies are telling you, make on her, make on him, go out with him, go out with her, you end up finding yourself doing things that you're not prepared to know how to do, and how to prevent and how to have boundaries. You kiss a guy, on free. But the guy says, hey, you kissed me, that means let's have sex. But you are saying, no, I just kissed you, I don't want sex. But where are those mechanisms within us, instilled in us as young people and growing up to become adults, so that we know what are the boundaries? Where do I end? How far can you go? It's not in place. So people are confused about, you know how many guys, and it's supposed to be guys most of the time, who says, if you love me, let's make love. If you love me, let's have sex. And poor girls like, but I love you, but I don't want the sex, but I don't want to lose you, so I go along with that. Ouch.
Yeah. So Uncle G, what are some of the signs of a toxic relationship to look out for?
Oh, so many. But most of the most dangerous ones are the emotional ones. Somebody who does not, because for someone to love you, it shows up in a number of ways. The primary ones I can throw out there is that there will be clear signs of a person admiring you. There will be clear signs of a person appreciating you. There will be clear signs of a person validating you. Yes. There will be clear signs of a person protecting you, and so on. If those things are not missing, but the person is all into you, you have to wonder, wait a minute, what's going on? Because the person may be after your body. The person may be after your status. You are a celebrity or whatever, I need to be seen with you, or you have got a lot of money. Some boyfriends are almost just ATMs. Some girlfriends too nowadays. So we need to get to understand that there is a balance. Because when it comes to relationships, a lover is someone who serves you. How can someone serve you without knowing your best interests in life? So it's someone who took time to say, where are you going in life? What do you want? And how do I fit in? I never did that. All I know is that me in what I want in life, and I may be going east, but you may be going west.
That's
so
true.
Where do we connect? So abuse come in when someone is now imposing themselves on you. Emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, wanting to make you feel like you need to be with them, otherwise you are lost. And it can come in so many ways of being manipulated. Manipulated to choose between your friends and your priorities, your schooling, your whatever, and this person. If somebody loves you, they actually will look forward to helping you to enhance your life in the things that you are doing to build up your life, and not hold you back. So toxic can be somebody who says, I love you, but they're actually more possessive. They are more obsessive with you. They are more controlling. They go out of their way to belittle you, to demean you, to try and see that without me, you are nothing. Without me, you cannot survive. Without me, you are not as prominent in society. So be dependent on me. When real love is about the person need to be independent. Independent enough to freely choose to be your partner and not to be manipulated into a relationship.
I think me and Esther had a big debate this morning, but she wants to ask you the question.
Okay, we actually would like to know, because you don't always meet somebody as an abusive person, I don't know what happens along the way, but somehow they end up being abusive. So once they've reached that point, do you think that an abuser can actually genuinely change their ways, or is it a thing of a cheetah never changes its spots?
It's actually both, in a way that an abuser who gets to maybe run into a wall, a wall of conscience that says, man, what I did is harmful and dangerous and violating to my partner. That could, or you waking up to say, no, 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 this love is painful. Love is not supposed to be painful. And you walk away. But for the most part, people who are abusive shows up when the true colors show up. Unfortunately, you don't just walk up to a guy or a girl or a woman or a man and say, you know what, I want to be with you, I want to have sex with you, I have 5 children, and can we start tomorrow? We don't do that. We come and play games with the flowers and the chocolates and the Valentine's days and all that stuff to capture your attention. That's why all relationships, for the most part, they're always described as, oh, in the beginning, things were so, because he calls you all the time, she is there for you, and as soon as you settle down to be exclusive or to be, oh, now that we are done, we are in a relationship, okay, let me go back to being lazy and messy and neglectful and ignorant of your needs and your desires. The guy who calls you every day, once proposing and dating you, a year later, you need to find him, you need her to beg her. It's like, why don't you call me? Where are you? Why do I have to? But at the beginning, he was the one he couldn't breathe without you. She couldn't breathe without you. And that's what we do. It's like the real ones come. It's just like, now I need to dictate to you. And that's where the abuse comes in. I need to dictate, because you need to be the type of girlfriend or boyfriend that I want. So you can't talk too much. You can't have too many opinions. You can't have this or you can't have that. Don't drink. But you found me drinking. Don't smoke. But you found me smoking. Yes, smoking and drinking is not so good. But sometimes, here are now people trying to change you. And that's abusive. Because a person who really loves you will not change you, but accept you the way you are, the way God made you. Now, if there are things in you that are not so, nice, we talk about it. We try and negotiate so together we can change ourselves for the better, or you walk out. But you don't now, it's like, no, yeah, you are too much into your computer or into your WhatsApp or your whatever, and I'm taking away your phone. How do I take away your phone? Because I made it a point to buy it for you in the first place.
Yeah.
Now it's your phone, but now 6 months later, to control you, I like, give me my phone.
Yeah.
What happened to it was yours as a gift? So we find ways to get our claws into a person. And then when the person wants to breathe, we're like, no, you can't breathe this way or that way without me dictating how. So you can't go out. You can't go out with your friends. You can't do this. You can't do that. That's all abusive. That's abusive behavior that brought about by someone who wants to dictate how a relationship should be, when a relationship is actually supposed to be a free flow of energies, chemistry, people connecting, and getting to understand that what you want in life that's good and what I want that's good in life, those things put together can make for a nice way forward.
But Uncle G, I actually want to know, why is it that some people often feel kind of entitled in a relationship? Why do they become those people that are so controlling, even though it wasn't like that in the beginning?
Who proposed who? Who started the relationship? Who decided that who should belong to who? Those things play a role. And that's some people. I had a client long time ago who, and I still remember, she said, no, I can't break up with my guy. I said, but why not? He's abusive. He's not helping you to do the things that you want to get to in life. Why not break up? And she's like, no, but he's the one who started the relationship. He's the one who proposed. So I cannot break up. Because somewhere, somehow, some of our cultures and so on says, whoever breaks up should be the one who initiated the relationship. Where is that?
Yeah.
So some people culture, religion, modern life, all of these things, we pick on it to make it work for us.
Yeah.
When love is you work to serve your partner, you are not in a relationship to demand what you want. You are in a relationship to inquire what your partner wants. Your partner is to inquire as to what do you want. And the exchange create for a relationship where you serve me and I serve you. It's not about demanding, because when I demand, then I'm abusive to you. I'm now a dictator.
Yeah.
I'm now not so I'm now inconsiderate, because I don't consider what you want. I just demand. And that's where a guy or a girl will say, where are you? Oh, you're at the club. You better be home in 5 minutes. Wait a minute. You don't have a right to a social life? Or you went to the club without mentioning it? Why? Because you were afraid that if you mention it like, honey, I'm going to the club tonight, somebody was going to tell, no way, not with my money, not with my car, not with this, not. So where are we? Allowing ourselves to be free in relationships. And so when we are saying all of this, we are saying it's not just today, it's every day. We are human beings, we are not perfect. So yes, there are days when you are moody, there are days when you are deck back, there are days when my wife, irritates me. Ooh, but those are the few days in the whole year. The rest of the year, we need to be there, loving each other, taking care of each other, partnering with each other in life activities. And so the chocolate, the flowers, and so on should be there every other week, every other month, not just today. And then we wait for 365.
Yeah. Uncle G, just the final question, and I'm really, really into this conversation because I'm also learning a lot, things I can apply also in my relationship going forward. Just in terms of the viewers or some of the viewers out there that are actually involved in an abusive relationship or manipulative relationship at the moment, how do they actually break free? Because we hear and we see a lot of the times these women and men struggle actually to get out of those relationships.
There are resources out there that can help. In this age of technology, there are WhatsApp groups you can join. There are counseling centers. There are relationship counselors. We need to, because if you are isolated, and that's one of the things abusers and controllers do, isolate you.
Yes.
Because if you are not isolated, you will have friends who will like, no, he can't do that. No, she can't do that. No. And you are learning, but why not? Why? There are people who are looking for partners. But then when you ask them to describe the partner, they describe a domestic help.
Yes, that's true.
No, I want a woman who can cook. Wait a minute, if she cannot cook, what then? Now, a man who can provide. If he cannot provide, what then? So we need to find ways to say we are social beings. And that we need to use. So we need to have friends. And when it comes to serious relationships, one of the items I like about relationships that are healthy is that the people are friends.
Yes.
You take a friend and you add romance, sex, and so on, some of these things to the friendship, and he becomes a boyfriend. She becomes a girlfriend. Not a stranger, you fall in love. People should stop falling in love. They should start growing in love. And growing in love means that there's a connection, there's a chemistry, there's a vibe with someone. You take the time to find out, what is that person all about? Are they what I would want to have? And then, which means you have done your homework to know what is a healthy relationship all about. These are the things missing. And that's why people get caught up and stay stuck in relationships that are abusive to them, because that enlightenment is missing. So where are we in school being taught about relationships? Where are we in churches, at home, talked and told and taught what a relationship is like? Where are fathers teaching their sons, this is how you treat a girl? And they're actually living it out, role modeling it. Where are mothers telling their daughters, this is how a man should treat you, this is how you treat a man, and this is how a healthy relationship should be? That is kind of missing. As you know, in most of our cultures, we don't talk sex. Sex is taboo. So teenagers who want to know about, Daddy, I'm having wet dreams, what do I do? Daddy is not there for that. Mommy knows nothing about this. So they are now relying on friends, on social media and soapies and so on. So when it becomes the real thing, the grooming is not in place, the guidance is not in place, and when they are not independent enough in terms of social standing, they are stuck. Because they become now like, Karuaihe, where will I find another boyfriend? Where will I find another girlfriend? Hey, we are almost 8 billion people on the planet. But people, we forget. It's like, I can't live without you. No way. How old are you? 35? You lived 35 years before we met.
Yeah.
How can you not now not live without me? How did you do it without me for 35 years? And those are some of the things as friends, in social circles, in schools, in shows like this, we need to bring out on a regular basis. And not have this message just once in a blue moon.
Yeah. Uncle G, Esther, it was really informative. Like we discussed this morning, I knew when you agreed that it would be informative to our viewers. Thank you so much for coming, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Uncle G, and thank you, Esther, for taking time out of your busy Friday schedule to actually
no, before we leave, she is not a thorn. Okay?
I'm not a thorn, I'm a rose.
Guys, it's now time for the chill section of today's evening review with Michael Kayunde.
Welcome Namibia, it's your boy Michael, and joining me today is none other than Skrypt.
Yes, sir.
He recently dropped his new single, and today is Valentine's Day, by the way, so that song was, strategically dropped for that. Tell me, how has the response been like for that song? It's been out for like 7 days?
7 days, yeah. It was strategic to drop it 7 days before Valentine's Day because I wanted people to be familiar with the song already when it dropped. So hopefully, I think, I hope people are playing it for their significant others today, but the response online has been amazing.
Yeah. And the song itself, it features Top Cherry, and you guys also dropped the video.
Yeah.
Who directed the video, and why did you go for that storyline?
The song kind of compelled us, and by us I mean Imagination Studio that directed the video. It was Mipani who came up with the idea of Imagination Studios, so shout out to her. So basically she said, okay, it has an old school feel to it, it's a love song, and we can just make people feel reminiscent of a time, that time where love seemed like it was colorful and
it was real.
Where it seemed like it was real, not that people are faking now, but I think that's just, it happened naturally. So we just shot it, directed it. Some things went wrong. The video actually didn't go as planned, but it turned out better.
But it was shot just one day, right?
Yeah, one day.
Just in a day.
One day.
But besides that as well, last year you didn't put out any single or anything of that sort, except of the freestyle that you put out.
Yeah.
And you recently also announced that you are putting out an EP.
Yes.
So I want to know, what is the creative direction you are taking on this EP, and when can we expect this EP?
No creative direction. I am shooting.
Why is that?
I think because I'm versatile, and I'm at a point now where I understand my versatility. So I'm just trying to showcase that more and more on different genres. If you find me on a song with Burna Boy, that Burna Boy can jump on, you find me on a song that Rick Ross can jump on, I think I'm for everybody at the end of the day. So I'm just trying to do that.
And in terms of the rollout, how are you going to push this EP out? Is it an EP or an album, actually?
It's an EP. Album, I feel like albums are so precious,
really?
and they take time. So I've already started work on my album. I think it's going to be a 2021 release. But in terms of the EP, I'm just going to give it to the people. I want to start the grassroots way. I don't want to, kind of pretend I have fans I don't have. I want to really just hand the EP to people person by person, because I don't feel like I'm that artist yet, although I'm on a steady climb right now. So I'm just going to drop the EP and let it organically do what it needs to do.
Before we wrap up, you were also recently announced as one of the nominees in the Rockstar Awards. What are you nominated in, and how can people, vote for you?
The full nominations actually come out today, Valentine's Day. So I'm nominated in the Live Star, which is Best Live Performance, for my little rain situation. So I think I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Obviously, competition. Show my jerseys in my group, and that's enough to, you know.
No, we got you.
To put not to put me off, but I'm just happy with the nomination. On a continental level, my work is being appreciated. That's more than I could have imagined in my first year in the industry, technically speaking. So I'm happy. In terms of voting, www.rockstarawards.com. And I think that's the website, but I stand under correction, or I stand to be corrected. And you can just vote. So hopefully the whole country bands together, and not just for me, for all the other Namibian artists that are nominated as well. And we can bring 1 or 2 Rockstar Awards home.
Well, there you heard it. I just, spoke to Skrypt. He's still here. And before I let him go, I'm not just going to let him go without dropping a little freestyle. But it's Valentine's Day, and his song is out there. It's a song about love. But actually, before I let you go, before we wrap up this interview, what does Valentine's Day mean to you?
If I'm being honest, it hasn't meant anything to me in a while, because I told people.
Did you buy flowers last year?
I bought flowers last year.
Are you buying flowers today?
I'm buying flowers today, but I'm buying flowers because I'm performing today, so I'm just gonna give them out to some ladies in the crowd, because I think everyone
deserves.
Not
for like special someone.
No. I told people at the numbers I'm loving myself, and everyone thought I was kidding, but I'm genuinely not in a place to give time and energy to someone that I don't feel is significant or what I want to give. So I'm holding up on love for now, but I'm encouraging everyone to fall in love, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful process.
Well, there you heard it. That's what Skrypt thinks of Valentine's Day, but stay tuned for his performance after this.
Once upon a time, I wrote a rhyme, I thought they'd never hear it. I dropped the digits with the tape, and now my future clearing. Had to take a seat, but now I'm driven. To the sky I'm steering, no more cheering. I'm moving, dog, perseverance. It's so apparent that my parents kept me so coherent. I love my mama dearest, keep her nearest, push me to the limits. Because a lot has been going down. That's good and bad, and not everybody gonna be down. If you hold me down, then I got you, unless you hold me down. I'm hoping that you drown, to whoever put my homie down. I got love for Vienna, but no Windhoek is my only town. It's so astounding when someone has the homie sound. I pray that God will get me if I get to stepping out of bounds. I'm not renowned, but I hope my name will get around. At the same time, keep my feet up on some level ground. Forever moving, I'm on to another level now. There's no leash, you can't hold me back. First they ain't believe, like they didn't know we rap. And now they know it's deep, like what pot of gold is that? I'm trying to take it sky high so they don't drive by. I'm trying to take it to these levels. Skrypt.
On the 14th of February, which is basically the Valentine's Day, I'll be live and direct at Funky Lab as we are celebrating Taylor J's video lounge. And listen here, I'm gonna pull up with my wife, and now I live the life like Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Valentine's Day for me is a time for me to share love to the ones that are close to me, especially my family and my friends. My plans for the evening, I'll be performing at the Windhoek Palm Hotel, and tomorrow, as Valentine's weekend, I'll be performing at the Kalahari Coffee and Jazz Cafe. I think it's a good way to show appreciation to people that you really care for them. I think that's why I appreciate or care about or like Valentine's Day.
And that's all we have time for today on the Evening Review. We wish you a splendid Valentine's Day evening ahead. I'm Ashley Smith, the news editor of Namibian Sun.